Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. Today is June 26th, 2023. My sister's getting married today, so we gotta make this quick. Let's talk knives. First knife on the table is the Heretic Cleric II. This is going for $654 at Blade HQ right now, and like all Heretic knives, it is built to the nines, and it has probably spent more time on a CNC machine than just about any knife on this table, although there's a Bestech here that might give it a run for its money. USA made, blade steel not on this one, just kidding, it's Magna Cut. I should have known, Heretic's been using a lot of Magna Cut lately. It's got a full carbon fiber top and then an aluminum back with a carbon fiber inlay, so that way there's real metal that you can bed the rails of the action in. And then it just barely exposed right here, little glass breaker tip for all that, but it's not sticking out, it's not gonna bother you if it's in your pocket. This milled titanium pocket clip with the classic Heretic roller ball here, and then a nice double action. And this one is long. This might be one of the longest like double action out the fronts I've ever seen. I can almost get two hands on it. So if you're looking for something that's almost like a sword that you can pull out, sort of lightsaber-like, I would sign up for this one right here. Slides a little, hasn't broken in quite yet. This one's fresh out of the box, but they get a little easier with time. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting a lightsaber series with these. That'd be a lot of fun. Thinking like a red button, maybe a green blade. That'd be, I don't know. I'm not a buyer, I don't get to make decisions like that, but I do, however, like the Cleric II. Next up, we have the great big Tops Steel Eagle, and this is the, I forget the code on it. This is the, oh yeah, 105C. This is the 105C that is the shorter version. So they have one that's like a 7-inch blade, and then they have one that's almost like a sword. And this is the most compact of the Steel Eagle series. And in classic Tops fashion, a very nice Kydex sheath as well. So this is USA made, featuring a 1095 steel blade, then this micarta handle. And this is the thing about Tops. A lot of companies are trying to make the knife that is the most common to everyone. Everybody can pick up this knife and feel like it's a comfortable thing. Benchmade does this really well. So like the Freak, just about anybody can pick up this knife right here and have a comfortable experience. However, there are some people out there with big, big hands. People where the bug outs just kind of vanish. They have a hard time getting a full grip on it. Tops has you covered, and I know there's a lot of people like that in the military. So if you are in the military and you're looking for a field fixed blade knife and you have absolute mitts of hands, this handle is made for someone like you. I feel like I have fairly average, maybe a little bit smaller than average hands, and this handle's plenty comfortable. I imagine that my forearms and grip would get a little tired holding that all day long. So this is definitely built for somebody with bigger hands than me. But I think if you have those big hands, do not discount the Tops knives because their handles are great for people like you. This one goes for $164.95. Get it right now at bladehq.com. It's a great knife. Next up, we have the Knives New Smarty. So this is an automatic, and it's got a very nice tactile button here, so you can switch it back and forth. And this might be the best sounding automatic knife I've ever held. Listen to this. I love it. A nice, smooth automatic action. And then it's got this recessed pocket clip on the back, so it's easy to carry. It's not reversible. So this one's definitely a right-handed favored one. And it has a nice slick action and N690 blade. And this one, I think, sort of introduces something we haven't seen a whole lot of, and that is the small hard use knives. Oftentimes when we think of a hard use knife, we're thinking of something like this. It's a big thing and it can handle it, but sometimes people have shallow pockets, especially the ladies out there, and it just is nice to have a small compact knife sometimes, but something that's still tough enough to take the beating that you want to give it. And if you want something small, I would generally say go a fixed blade. But the Knives Smarty here, this full aluminum handle, this overbuilt button on the lock, an N690 blade, so it's nice and tough and stain resistant. I would do anything I would do with like a Benchmade Freak, like in my pocket. Like anything I would do with that, I would feel comfortable doing with this, but this is quite a bit shorter. Here, I'll compare the two. It's just a small, compact knife, but I feel like it's a good hard user too. And I feel like the knife industry doesn't have enough of those, and I'm very excited to see this with the new Smarty. This one's going for $165.95 right now. Go pick yours up today. Next up, we have the Bestech VK-Void. And this one, I almost think it looks like a kiradashi, sort of that traditional Japanese blade shape, where the edge angles back, and what I love about that is because it angles back, it allows you to have some knuckle clearance against a table. So if you're like cutting boxes open or even preparing food, I would sign up for this knife right here. And in classic Bestech fashion, full titanium handle. This lanyard hole milled through so you don't have to see it on the front. A lot of people like a clean front. And then a little bit of texture provided by a backspacer that stands just a little bit proud to grip your palm while you're holding the knife. And very slick action. Oh, see if I can run the front flipper today. I got it. Yep, and then one thing that's cool is this custom pivot collar back here. So it's not just the standard thing, it allows it so that it interacts with the lock bar so you can't over travel it. That's one of the problems with frame locks is if you over travel your lock bar, you can mess up your detent to the point that the knife won't even work anymore. It might even make it so it can't lock. So that one prevents that with these really cool pivot collars that are mirrored on either side. So it's gonna give you a fairly symmetrical appearance as well. It's a very exciting knife, $253 right now, and it comes in a few different colorways. Next up, also from Bestech, we have the Blind Fury. And this thing is one of the most bizarre looking knives I've seen from Bestech. This one has quite the Tanto blade, and generally with a Tanto, I prefer a compound grind where it's a hollow grind down here at this edge and then flat up here. It gives you the slicing performance down below, but a little bit more tip strength. But I actually am really liking the simple flats on all of the above. It gives it a very nice geometric thing that catches the light just beautifully. Combine that with this lovely, there's probably a Damascus inlay and a green anodized titanium handle on this particular model. It is a sight to behold. And I think there's something to be said for that. A lot of times the more you get into knives, the more you find yourself getting into a rut. Like I'm in the 3.5-inch drop point rut. If it's got that, I'm probably interested. But this is very much off the beaten path for me. And if I pulled this out of my collection, this would be the one that drew eyes. So if you're trying to sell your buddy on a knife collection, like, hey, you should get into knives, but all your knives look the same. You pull this out, nothing looks quite like this. And I really appreciate that. This one runs on a flipper action and a front flipper. Fidgety, well-built, premium materials, and it's a bit spendy, $305, but for a titanium frame lock, that's a fairly good price, especially with the grade of titanium and the amount of machining done to the Blind Fury here. Next up, new in the Begg Knives production line, we have the Diamici. For you Italian speakers out there, I believe 2 C's makes it ch, but 1 C is a s. I could be wrong. So Diamici, D-I-A-M-I-C-I. Tell me how to pronounce that. But this one is a Begg Knives design. And we talked about these a little while ago. Begg knives are known for their customs. In fact, one of the first knives I posted as a copywriter at Blade HQ was called The Hunt. It was worth $5,000 or some crazy amount, but it was a gorgeous knife. And I thought, I would love to carry that thing, but my goodness, is it expensive. And that's where the Diamici comes in, Diamici, because this thing goes for $128, so a very reasonable price. It's got great build quality, the steel handle with a micarta inlay and a black G10 to make a bolster. It feels and looks like a Begg, but it's at a much more accessible price. I could see myself buying this and actually carrying it because that is a classy gentleman style folder. And I really am appreciating these Begg designs. So if you're just perusing Blade HQ looking to find some knife porn, go look at the Begg knives because they are very pretty and you wouldn't hurt so bad if you put one in your pocket. Next up, from Ferrum Forge, we have the Stinger button lock with a titanium handle and this beautiful camo carbon fiber inlay. And these, I mean, it's a Ferrum Forge, so you know the action's gonna be good. You know their flippers are downright perfect. Let's see, this one's got this little groove. Maybe we can flick it too? Oh, we can flick it. And classic button lock action, excellent ergonomics, choke up if you need to. Very slim and slicey blade. So this will prepare your lunch in the office. This will open your Amazon packages, and look at this pocket clip. Pocket clips don't get much smaller and more minimal than that. We've got a recess here, so the screw and the clip itself are recessed, so it's gonna give you no trouble going in and out of slacks, or maybe a dress pocket, whatever you're doing. It will make it very easy to carry. So if you're looking for something a little more dignified, but still fidgety, may I recommend this Stinger in titanium because it is slick as butter. Next up, and last knife on the table, we have the new Ferrum Forge Lackey, and this is their neck knife. It comes in a Kydex sheath that I appreciate. When I want a neck knife, I want a sheath that is as little as it can possibly get away with. That's what I love White River knives for, because I don't want to have some like pancake of a sheath just hanging around my neck all day or getting in the way of things. But that is so slim. And then it comes out and the knife is super slim, super thin, and it just fits the hand well enough to open packages and everything. If you're doing some serious bushcrafting, once again, go for something like a Tops. But if you're just looking for an everyday carry fixed blade and you want the assurance of knowing that the D2 blade on this is never gonna break because it's a fixed blade, may I recommend the Lackey, Ferrum Forge. They are killing it with the designs lately. In fact, I have one of their designs, the Protect Mordax. I've been carrying that around a lot. They are so, so good. And this one, slim, light, easy to carry, easy to conceal where it is a neck knife, tuck it inside your waistband, carry it on a static line. There's 1,000 ways in one to carry this knife. And it's a really great option for 70 bucks. Anyway, that's a lot of new knives. I hope you've enjoyed. I've got places to be, so I'm gonna let you go. Subscribe for more knife content. See you on the next one.